Now, after that, we have finished explaining what exactly is plan risk management, what will the RMP or the risk management plan contains. Now it's the time to move step by step, and the next step here is to go for identifying the risks. So welcome to this session on identifying risks in planning phase. And this video will explore why it's crucial to identify risks early, the tools that you can use to identify them, and how to capture and document these risks for further analysis and responses. First, let's understand the importance of identifying risks early. Identifying risks early in the planning phase is crucial because it allows the project team to manage potential problems proactively. By addressing risks early, you can develop responses to mitigate their impact, ultimately reducing the project uncertainty and enhancing the likelihood of success. Early identification gives you the time needed to plan and allocate resources effectively. And let's now discuss the tools and techniques that is, or the IGTOs involved when dealing with identifying the risks. So the key inputs here, including the project management plan, the project documents, agreements, procurement documentation. Procurement documentation might come as risks when you are dealing, for example, with vendors or doing any contracts work, and that might have an associated risks. The other inputs, including the EFFs and the OPAs. So the tools and techniques here we have is expert judgment, data gathering, data analysis, prompt list, meetings, also including brainstorming, SWOT analysis, and checklist analysis. And the output here would be the risk register, the risk report, and project document updates. To talk about these tools, including the brainstorming, brainstorming is a collaborative technique where the team members feel freely suggest possible risks without any judgment, resulting in a comprehensive list of potential threats and opportunities. The next technique here or tool you have is SWOT analysis. By examining the project strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you can uncover potential risks in different project areas. You have this checklist or the checklist or prompt list analysis, and this tool utilizes the pre-existing checklists based on the lessons learned from the past projects or industry standards, ensuring that common risks are identified early. Now let's dive into one each of them, starting by brainstorming for risk identification. So again, we said brainstorming is one of these most effective tools for identifying risks, particularly when teams comes together and generate ideas. And this technique encourages creative thinking and ensures that the risks are identified from multiple perspectives. And by involving people with different expertise and experiences, you can uncover risks that might not be immediately obvious. Now to see the SWOT analysis. Again, so SWOT analysis, we say that it's another valuable tool for risk identification, and it helps identifying internal risks with its strength, weaknesses, and external risks with its opportunities and threats. By systematically examining the different aspects of the project, this analysis is not only identify a potential threats, but also highlight the opportunities that could be leveraged to benefit the project. Now let's look into the checklist analysis when doing risk identification. So risk analysis is a tool that is used to identify the risks. It involves a pre-existing checklists developed from lessons learned in past projects or industry-specific risk databases. This tool is especially useful to ensure that you don't overlook common risks that might arise in similar project. It offers a structured approach to identify risks systematically. The risk documentation process, which is a very important thing here when talking about risk or identifying risks. Once the risks has been identified, using tools like brainstorming, SWOT analysis, or checklists, or expert judgment, and all of these tools that we have discussed before, it's essential to document them in a risk register. The risk register serves as a centralized repository where each identified risk is listed alongside with the key information such as the risk description, the probability and impact in a high level, of course, and any planned responses. A proper documentation ensure that risks are continuously monitored and reviewed throughout the project. So when you analyze this risk register, you will have a very detailed, let's say, risk register, including all of the risks that might happen on the project with their probability, impact. Let's say when doing the qualitative, the quantitative analysis, you assign the value for each of these risks. You assign the roles, responsibilities, who's gonna handle what. This is will be the risk register, the overall risk register of the project. Let's now look into the categories of risk for easier analysis. So once the risks are identified, categorizing them can make the analysis process more manageable. And by grouping risks into categories such as technical risks or external risks, organizational risks, project management risks, you can prioritize which risk need an immediate attention and which can be monitored over time. And this categorization makes it easier to focus on the most critical risks and allocate resources accordingly. The importance of involving the stakeholder when doing risk identification. Stakeholder involvement is crucial in identifying risks, and engaging stakeholder early allows you to gather inputs from diverse perspectives, which helps uncovering the risks that may not be obvious to the team or the project team. Stakeholders can bring a valuable insight based on their experience and expertise, which can significantly improve the accuracy of the risk identification process. And to summarize our session on identifying risk, which is the first step when developing the risk management plan. So we said identifying risks early in the planning phase is critical it's critical to the success of any project. By utilizing tools like expert judgment, brainstorming, SWOT analysis, prompt list, and checklist analysis, the project team can capture potential risks and document them in a risk register. The risk register will contain all of these risks that's been identified with their probability, impact, source, category, the response plan, and who was responsible for managing these risks. Categorizing these risks ensures that they can be managed efficiently and the project is well prepared for potential challenges.